about to be a long video. I'm going to be talking about each standings, each team, and my predictions for the 2024 to 25 season. I usually do it before the season starts, and the season is starting in 2 hours, so I better make this quick. West and the East, and then we'll do some quick playoff predictions first. First seed, I have OKC again. OKC is a really good team. Added two really good role players, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso. Young players will improve. They already were first seed last year. I believe they will be first seed again. Second seed, I have Denver. Denver last year did not win the championship, and I believe that will field their team. Also, Jokic always gets wins no matter who the players are on his team, and Jamal Murray, hopefully he's healthy again, can help them win games. Russell Westbrook off the bench is a nice addition, although they lost some players. Then third, I am actually going to have at third the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like they are going to win a decent amount of games too, adding Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, Spencer Dinwiddie is great. Lost Derrick Jones Jr., but of course Luka gets wins. They did really well with Lively, Gafford, and Washington at the end of last season, and they look really good this season. And Luka gets wins as well as Jokic said before. Luka does the same thing. Number 4, Minnesota. Even though they lost Cat, Anthony Edwards is still a great player, one of the top 10 players in the league probably. And they got Julius Randle, who really good at regular season. Postseason, don't know, but they still have a great core to win games. Nasri and Dante DiVincenzo off the bench is insane as well. So, number 5, I have a little shocking, but I'm going to have the Phoenix Suns at number 5. I think the Phoenix Suns improved a lot with Tyus Jones and Monte Morris getting 2 point guards. Now their defense looks shaky, but Kevin Durant and Devin Booker look really good in the not the playoffs, the Olympics, and maybe Bradley Beal will be better this season. I have Grizzlies at 6. I don't have them at 5 or higher because they already have G.G. Jackson and Vince Williams out. Jaren Jackson Jr. is also dealing with an injury. Hopefully they don't deal with more injuries, but because I want to see them fully healthy. We haven't seen them fully healthy yet because Ja missed so many games, but the league will remember about Ja Morant. He is a really good player right here, and the West is so tough. Any teams can go up or down. Like, there's 10 teams that could make the top 4 seeds, in my opinion, and there's like 13 teams that can make the play-in / playoffs. So it's so tough. It's gonna be a really close race, which I love. Number 7, I have the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings got DeMar DeRozan along with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. Is going to be a really potent offensive team. Now their depth is not that good, so maybe they're actually going to be 8th because I have New Orleans at 7. It was a toss-up between those two. New Orleans, with the addition of DeJounte Murray, helps their offense a lot. He's a great playmaker. Zion was healthy last season. Hopefully this season he can be healthy too. And the only weakness they have is a center, so it's a toss-up between Sacramento and New Orleans. But those two teams are going to be two teams that I believe will make it to like those 7 and 8. 9, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. They didn't add anyone, but LeBron still looks really good. AD looks like he's going to be really good after that Olympics run. And AD is healthy for the past 2 years, so both of them healthy, more like chemistry with players like Austin Reeves, and Dalton Connect looks like a really good player as a rookie. Next, number 10. It's going to be really controversial at the LA Clippers at number 10. So that means I have the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets not making the play-in. And the Spurs. But I have the Clippers at 10 because even though Kawhi is out, he's not going to be out that long, I believe. And healthy Kawhi is a top 10 player in the league. James Harden is going to have a bounce back year. I feel like this team is going to be a great defense. And although their offense is not going to be as good, their defense is probably going to be top 10. So that's why I have them at the 10th spot. That means I have Golden State at the 11th spot. Golden State is a great team, but I just feel like there's no number 2 option besides Steph. And if Steph gets injured, it's over for the team. So I have them at 11. At 12, I have the Rockets. The West is just so stacked. The Rockets are a really deep team, such a good team. But I don't know who is going to be the number 1 option, Jalen Green or Alperen Sengun. Still a bit confusing if they'll play together well, because Jalen Green played well when Sengun got injured. But they have one of the best and deepest teams in the league, and one of the best young cores. 13, I have San Antonio. They will probably look like they try to contend, but I believe they might trade Chris Paul if his value is up. And I believe they still don't have enough to contend yet. But once players like Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, maybe their pick next season, once they become more experienced, the Spurs are going to be a great team. And then Portland and Utah, I have Portland at 14 and 15 Utah. Utah is probably, both of them are just going to try to rebuild. Don't need to say anymore. Now with the East, it is a little bit easier to predict, but still super hard. But number 1, I have the Boston Celtics. Where are the Boston Celtics? Celtics are probably going to get number 1 again. Their team is just so good, so well-rounded. You saw in the finals, even if one player doesn't show up, another player will show up. And they just have a crazy and loaded team. And then for the next one, I will have the New York Knicks getting the 2nd seed, because New York, with the additions of Cat, with the additions of bench players also that are looking pretty good. The New York Knicks were the 2nd seed last season, I believe, and they should be again this season. They're a really great team with addition of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. They are going to chemistry, hopefully, and it is going to be a really, really hard team to beat. Number 3, I have Philadelphia because of injury issues. They're probably not going to be 1 or 2. Embiid is not going to play that much. He's already ruled out of this week. PG also is ruled out from that preseason injury. And Maxey has to carry. But it is just not really that good for your 2 of 3 star players to be out. So Philly probably going to be 3 seed. But in the playoffs, this might look different if both players are healthy. 4, Milwaukee. Milwaukee is still a great team. They added a lot of good depth in the offseason, but Dame and Giannis weren't that good last season, and they also had injuries. Chris Middleton is injured. Giannis and Dame are still one of the best duos in the league, though, so I still have them at number 4. Number 5, I have Cleveland. Cleveland might take a step up if Evan Mobley gets better. He looked pretty good shooting 3-pointers lately. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland can mesh more. And they look like a pretty solid team, too. At the 6th seed, I have the Orlando Magic. Last season, they were the 5th seed and a surprise team. But this season, I feel like Paolo's going to improve. Franz improve. They got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for shooting. They're a really good defensive team, and they needed shooting. And they got KCP, so maybe that will help improve their team. Then for the 7th seed, I have the Indiana Pacers. Indiana looked really good last season with their really fast-paced offense, and with Pascal Siakam, Halliburton meshing up more, playing more minutes, that team will be looking electric. Then Miami at 8. Miami with Bam Adebayo shooting more threes. Their offense might finally be unlocked, but I still only have them at 8 because of previous years. They were around this spot. They didn't really make any changes, and Jimmy Butler is getting older. Next, for the ninth spot, I have Atlanta. Reza Shea looked pretty nice in the preseason, their number 1 overall pick, and Jalen Johnson is going to be a great player alongside Trae Young. This team just has a lot of great young talent, I believe, in this weaker bottom of the East, because the top of the East, I feel like, is better than the top of the West, but just the bottom of the East, not as good as the bottom of the West. I believe that Atlanta is still going to be a playing team. And number 10, I have Charlotte. Charlotte looks like a great playing team as well. LaMelo Ball finally back healthy. Last time he was healthy, they were a playing team. And Brandon Miller might take a step up. They also got some pretty good additions. Trey Mann from last season, Josh Green, and Tajon Salon from the draft. 11, I have the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors have some intriguing young talent. Scotty Barnes is going to improve a lot. RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley looked really good with them, and Grady Dick looked pretty good as well in the preseason. Also, like, they still have a pretty solid veteran squad. Jakob Poeltl, Kelly Olynyk. So this team might be solid. And then 12, I have the Bulls. They're going to play really fast. Their offense is going to be electric, but their defense is not good at all. That's why I have them at number 12, and they're trying to tank for Cooper Flag. 13, Pistons. They added a lot of great veterans. Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, Paul Reed, Tim Hardaway Jr., but I feel like they're going to improve, but they're not going to improve too much to where they're a playing team. Then the last 2 spots, Brooklyn and Washington, it does not matter where they are because they're both going to be rebuilding for Cooper Flag. But yeah, that's basically it for the standings. Now we're going to talk about the playoffs really quick. Boston versus Miami. I have Boston winning. New York, Indiana, I have New York winning. Philly, Orlando, I have Philly winning. And Cleveland, Milwaukee, I have Milwaukee winning. Then it will be Boston, Milwaukee. I have Boston winning. New York, Philadelphia, Philadelphia winning. Then I have Boston winning. Philadelphia. And then for the West, OKC, Sacramento. I have OKC winning. Denver, New Orleans. I have Denver. Memphis, Dallas. I have Dallas. And Phoenix, Minnesota. I have Phoenix. Phoenix, OKC. I have OKC. And Denver, Dallas. I have Denver. Denver, I have them winning OKC. And I have Boston repeating as the champions versus the Denver Nuggets. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. Wow.